What is up, everyone? So today I got the Gerber Tomahawk here. I'm just kidding. This is the HX Rescue Tomahawk. We're gonna go over its features, its price point, and whether or not it's a good purchase compared to the Gerber. So let's get into this review and see what it's all about. So the Gerber is made out of 420 steel. This is 440 stainless steel. G10 scales here. Same thing with the Gerber. Okay, so now that we got that all out of the way, let's do a weight comparison and some measurements for you before we go over the features. So for the weight, you're looking at 2 pounds, 4.8 ounces. Okay, and then for your dimensions on this thing, you're looking at a handle length of 17.25 inches long. Okay, so that would be from here to here. And then for your actual axe part of it, you're looking at 4 inches for your axe blade. The handle width, you're looking at about 1.25 inches. So the width of this, the thickness, you're looking about 3/4 to 7/8, more along the lines of 7/8 width. Okay, you have a hammerhead of 1.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch wide, so somewhere around those sizes. Okay, so everything's pretty much the same, with some minor differences, like this is a pry bar and it's at a point, whereas the Gerber is more of a flat pry bar that's like a square. Okay, so to me the Gerber seems like it's more for like breaking down housing and stuff like that if you're a carpenter. This one's more along the lines of, you know, your bushcrafter, but I mean, to each is their own. The Gerber comes in at that $200 range, and this one's just shy of $100. So I mean, do you want two Chinese made ones that, you know, you could throw in your car, have two, one in one car, one in the other car, one for camping, one in your car? You know, you get into buying, you got something. Or do you spend all your money on a single one, which I'm not sure where it's made for the Gerber, but I mean, it's probably made in China. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, so let's go over the breakdown of this, the features. So this sheath is by no means a perfect setup. It's a typical leather sheath. There's no fancy parts to this besides 3 buckles that kind of clasp everything together, a stitch front, a wedge in between to allow the thickness of the blade to seat nicely. It prevents your blade from getting damaged during transport, prevents you from getting cut, and that's about it. That's all the sheath does. It's decently built. I wouldn't say nicely built, I'm just saying it's decently built. It's something that anyone could make. One thing it does not do is it does not allow you to attach it to a belt loop or anything. There's nothing on this side or this side that allows you to clip it anywhere. Okay, so all it does is protect you and protect the blade. Some Tomahawk brands actually have some pretty nifty looking sheaths, where there's this one where you clamp it in like that, and then there's a little piece that sticks out that turns and twists to lock it in, but also the sheath is magnetic. I think that's a pretty clever design. I'm thinking about designing my own for this, because this axe is pretty nice, or this Tomahawk is pretty nice for what it is. Okay, so let's go over its features. You get a hammerhead here. Okay, it's fully welded all the way around, so it's not replaceable. So once you mangle this thing, you're pretty much stuck with it. You get a grip here, so if you're using it for a pry bar, like so, you can put your fingers in there and really lock in, and then pry something and then pry it out, which is pretty neat because pry bars will come in handy. Or if you're splitting wood, you could hammer it or axe it, split the wood, slide this in there, and then pry it to the side and then kind of pop it if you need that option. You have a wrench set here that gives you various hex sizes. You get 1, 2, 3 sizes, okay? You get these finger grooves here, which gives you a mid grip, okay? So a mid grip, you get one that allows you to choke up on it, and then you get another position that really allows you to get really high up on the head itself with these finger grooves. I like them because it does lock your hands in there, especially if you're trying to pry something, okay? The axe blade itself is, you know, typical for what a lot of your cheaper knives are made out of, you know, the 440 stainless. It's super sharp right out of the box, in my opinion, especially for being a tomahawk. It's really, really sharp, especially this little tang sticking down here. You don't want to get caught with that. But this is really cool because if you did use it in a self-defense situation, you could actually hook someone's hand and direct them, or you could slice into someone and actually really mess up their day, okay? This one is called the crocodile on the back side here, but when they have it listed as something completely different. When you look at the listing, it's called the Rescue Axe or the Rescue Tomahawk. So I don't know if it's just companies making up their own stuff for resale, but this thing was kind of hard to find. And I don't know if it's legal issues with Gerber and stuff like that, but not a lot of places carry this as much as they do their smaller one. Let me reach around and grab it for you. So their smaller one, which I'll do a review on as well. But this one's really easy to get a hold of. Not so much for this one. So you have some branding on here. You have the HX outdoor markings here. You have an elk on here, and then you have some Chinese writing. And then on this side, it says crocodile, and then you get some footprints, okay? I don't know how well that comes off on camera. It's probably not so good, but it is what it is. But when you search this thing, a lot of listings will just call it outdoor rescue axe or outdoor rescue tomahawk, okay? It's the size is caught between an axe and a tomahawk. This one's not easy to find as far as the design is concerned, okay? The one that's easiest to find is their Rescue Tomahawk. Okay, this little guy. This one's really easy to find on Amazon. That's another review. But that's this portion of it. As far as the build quality, I mean, everything's nicely placed. The G10 scales that you have here are like a greenish black color. I don't know how well it shows up in the image or the video, but it is like a greenish color with black. Depends on where the light hits it. One thing I don't like about this particular tomahawk is the fact that everything's square. So if you look, the width is just square. There's no radiuses to it or nothing, okay? That could be easily changed though by just rounding it yourself. It fits well in the hand, so it doesn't rotate, but I prefer this backbone a little bit rounded, you know, give me a little curvature or break the radius or break the edge a little bit more into a radius, because that's what the back of my hand's gonna grip. They might have done that so it doesn't walk in your hand. I'm not a professional knife reviewer or anything of that sort or nature, but that's just something that I noticed right off the bat. But I mean, you could sand that down yourself if that's an issue. The finish of it is like a powder coat color. It's a black, it's like powder coat textured or whatever, the finish. I don't know how well this is gonna hold up. It probably won't hold up too well, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's a tool, right? The finish is not supposed to hold up. It's if it could do the job and do it well. I don't know how long this edge is gonna hold. I'm not doing anything crazy with it. I mean, this is an emergency tool for me. So, I mean, this thing's gonna last for a while. It's a camping option too, so I could take it with me. I do like these finger grooves, but I feel like certain people may have issues with them. I wish they had this G10 extended a little bit further down, especially around this back handle, so that way I could get a grip further down and have a consistent grip. So when I'm really swinging it, it allows this head to really create a lot of force once it impacts wood or whatever it impacts. But overall, I think this is a great purchase. So for the verdict, do I recommend this? Yes, I do. For the price point that this comes in at, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'd pick this up just to have it as a tool for camping, okay? And it looks cool. As far as purpose-driven, I mean, I wouldn't use this as a pry bar, to be honest with you, unless I got into a pinch. I mean, that's why they have pry bars, to use them for pry bars. This is like a multi-tool type thing. But I mean, I don't see myself banging this thing up too bad. This is kind of like if shit hits the fan or you come across an issue that you need to solve, maybe you need to pry something open, then yeah, definitely use this. But would I take this on a job site? No, I wouldn't. I'd have a pry bar, I'd have a hammer, and I'd have an axe by itself. I mean, those tools are made to do their job and do it well. Especially like an axe head, you have more weight to generate enough force to split wood, to cut through things really easily. This is more of a novelty or a in a pinch situation. Something thin, lightweight, and carry on your person or carrying on a backpack or in a vehicle, so you could tuck it away. So I do recommend this for what it is. Do I recommend the Gerber one? No, I mean, I don't see why you would spend $200 on an axe when you could get an axe that's rated to do that job. Okay, and then not only that, for an axe around that $200 range, I mean, you got to be a collector to buy something like that, or you just buy a chainsaw. Chainsaws are really affordable, especially the electric ones like the Milwaukee. I mean, they kick butt and they do their job. They do it more efficient, and it's silent. There's not a lot of noise, and they're lightweight. So I don't see why you would buy an axe for $200 unless, like I said, you're a collector, which that's cool, you know? I collect a lot of things as well. So I do recommend this for the price point and what it does, okay? So the purpose of this video was not to tell you everything about axes, nor was it to knock anyone who knows a lot about axes or tomahawks. This was basically an overview of what I purchased and why I purchased it, for the cool factor and its function. I mean, it's a cool little tool to have in a pinch, right? So it wasn't to go into any detail of the construction. I mean, a lot of people know a lot more than me in regards to this type of stuff, so I'm not even gonna try to flex on that. What I wanted to do is just show you what I purchased, and maybe it could help you decide whether or not it's something that you wanna buy, okay? So that's gonna complete today's video on this Tomahawk by HX. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the near future, consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.